Hi you guys, and welcome back to the Mama Monologues.
In honor of World Breastfeeding Week, we decided to share our personal breastfeeding stories with you guys, so we hope you enjoy them. Okay, so Karissa and I are both pretty passionate about breastfeeding, and I feel like we both have individual unique stories that others can relate to.
It's not always just this like instant,
natural,
sweet, you know, idea that I kind of felt like I had before. And so don't get discouraged, I guess, and you'll see that like everyone's in it together, and everyone, even though the stories are different, we all gone through kind of the same thing when it comes to nursing. So
when I went into labor, I actually, would it even be considered lying in labor?
Yeah,
I was induced,
but still.
I had no idea what to expect as far as just the birthing process, even how my body was gonna handle it. But Drew's cord got double wrapped around his neck, and he had to be, I had to get an emergency C-section, and it was my biggest fear.
Yeah.
You know how that was like my big thing. I did not want a C-section. Did not want to have a C-section. So when I had to have a C-section, I was devastated, and one of the first things that I did after I had the C-section in the recovery room was I asked the nurse for permission to breastfeed Drew, and that honestly kind of snapped me out of the little fog that I was in. Mm-hmm. It was amazing, it was perfect, he latched right on, and it was everything that I had dreamed that it would be, and lovely, and I was on cloud 9.
She was also on drugs.
I don't really remember feeding him that much in the hospital. My memory of either. Yeah, oh, you don't either?
No, it's scary because there's so many people and you're supposed to write it down, and I think we did, but like looking back, I'm like, I feel like I starved her to death.
When everyone had left and we finally were able to get some sleep, I was just so out of it. I just pulled down my hospital gown and laid Drew next to my boob, and I fell asleep. But I was so out of it, I didn't really...
So he had like free reign all night?
Yeah, he had free reign. So when I woke up the next morning, it was like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Every time I fed him after that, it was just painful. Like I had
post-traumatic stress.
Yeah. Lactation specialists were coming in left and right, trying to get me to give him formula because they said that I needed just to take a couple days off and just let myself heal, let everything kind of
rebuild.
Yeah. I felt confident leaving the hospital that I would be fine to go home and everything would kind of heal up. And so after we got home, nothing changed. I started taking less and less painkillers because they were making me really depressed. And it's the dead of winter. The first night when I did get home from the hospital, I remember my friend Janae telling me, you just need a pump. I had never used a pump before, obviously.
Yeah.
I hooked the pump up. My nipples are raw, okay?
She didn't have a nipple.
There was still milk there, but it was deformed looking. So I put it on just very slowly, you know. And my mom's there. She is not a sissy at all. So she's very upset to see me with it on the minimum. She's going, Rhea, there's nothing even coming out. Turn that thing up. My mom turns that thing to the max. Blood. After the pump instance, it just kind of was bad again, really bad. Andrew came to me one morning and said, look Rhea, I have to go back to work soon. You either go and get help or you quit breastfeeding. He did not feel comfortable leaving me with Drew in the state that I was in. It just wasn't good. He made me go to a lactation consultant, and which was an hour away, driving with a newborn. I felt so guilty that he was having to do so much for me, Yeah, it was a weird like resentment sort of thing. She recommended the My Breast Friend feeding pillow. She got me nipple shields and soft shell cups. She showed me how to do a proper latch, and just she helped me so much. And honestly, if it wasn't for that lady, I would have stopped. And that night I went home so excited that it wasn't really hurting as bad anymore. And so I latch him on and he starts eating with this shield that she gave me. And I go, ooh, ouch, it's hurting. So I pull Drew off and there's blood in the shield. I think I went and saw her for 2 weeks, like 3 times a week. And then after that I just went once a week for like the next 2 months. I ended up getting mastitis also. Which just I had to take antibiotics. Honestly, if I would have went 1 week sooner, I probably could have enjoyed my holidays and enjoyed Christmas. Instead, I was crying in the back room breastfeeding my son with my nipples pouring blood. There is, you know, medicine and products and things that can help even the worst situations. And your breastfeeding journey can be successful. I breastfed Drew for 14 months almost. Those first 2 months for me were hell. But after that, after I got the help and I got everything that I needed for it to be successful, it was the best, absolute best experience. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. We hope that you enjoyed our stories, and we hope that you are able to relate in some way, or you're able to take some of this information and use it to help you in your journey of breastfeeding.
Right, and we want to try to do a breastfeeding essentials video to add to World Breastfeeding week/month, so be on the lookout for that. And leave us comments about your breastfeeding stories. If there's anything that you experienced that would help other people, leave it in the comments. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And have a good week. Bye.
Daylight's coming and I wanna go.